Welcome back, more Britain's Hidden History, me, Ross Croeso. Now, here's a strange one. It's been sent to me by a few people, Mandy, a couple of others. Thank you very much. Please send me stuff. I'll give you a mention on here as well. This is on Yahoo News, but the stories come up on a couple of other media outlets. They're all exactly the same. As you know, there's no journalism anymore. No one asks any questions. They just print the press release and maybe fill the gaps with a couple of lines. Right, so what we got, the headline, in case you can't see it all. Final resting place of up to 65 British kings revealed as discovery sheds light on King Arthur era. I think, ooh, finally. They're going to start looking at the British kings. Maybe look at Wilson and Blackett's work, because we know where most of them are buried. They've worked it out. You can see the stones, you can see the tombs. You've got the monumental stones, their names on it. You've got the songs of the graves telling you where to look. No, they don't seem to want to know. But this is a curious thing about it, okay? Sorry, so long lost tombs. Well, we'll tell you where the tombs are. They're not lost. We know where they are. Right, other royals from the area associated with the legend of King Arthur. So the discovery is a major breakthrough in archaeologists and historians' understandings of the nature of Dark Age society. Here we are, post-Roman Britain, all the usual cliches. Okay, but what's more interesting? So at least 20 probable royal burial complexes, each contain up to 5 graves, tentatively identified, because they're guessing. They're digging and thinking, I wonder what this could be, rather than using the Britain's Hidden History approach, the Wilson and Blackett approach. Read the ancient documents that tell you where the things are and go and check, and if they're there, it's a pretty good chance you've found what they say you've found, as opposed to just, I wonder what this is, which seems to be the approach. Alright, so what they're acknowledging, in what is now the east and south of England, a whole series of tiny states ruled by Anglo-Saxon kings of fully or partially Germanic origin. I could go with that. They got the nonsense collapse of Roman rule around 410. Alright, well, we're not going with that. Anyway, but in the west and the north, where initially there was virtually no Anglo-Saxon penetration, the post-Roman royal dynasties that emerged were mainly Celtic ones, i.e. of indigenous British. Can't we just call them British then, please? Or Irish? Let's bring them in. But anyway, until now, virtually nothing was known about those Dark Age British monarchs who were buried. Why? It's been recorded for hundreds of years. British Royal Burial Site. Anyway, right, what I wanted to, get to the point, Ross, get to the point. The new discoveries are in Wales. Yay, Cornwall, yay, Devon, Somerset, exactly where they should be looking. The new published research suggests there are royal final resting places because they have unusual designs that are quite different. See, they're guessing. And clearly much more high status, guessing. Indeed, some examples associated with high status, probably royal Celtic locations. Similarity to the Irish royal tombs, which could also be British, because there was a British invasion of Ireland, which doesn't get recognised. Anyway, this is this bit. Check this out. Look at this list. See if you can spot, think of all the research that's been done, all the burial sites you've identified, all these things, okay? Imagine this map if you can and what's missing off it, alright? Although the names of the monarchs buried in these graves are on the whole not yet known why, they appear to have been kings, sub-kings. Listen to this. Other royals associated with the British kingdoms of Gwynedd, so that's northwest Wales, Dyfed, southwest Wales, Powys, central east Wales, Brycheiniog, Brecon, which is kind of mid Wales as well, and Dumnonia, southwest England. I should draw a map, but it's like that shape. And the bit in the middle, they actually are southeast Wales. It's bizarre. This long list is basically saying we're looking in the southwest, apart from southeast Wales, would be the same as this list here. And yes, there are graves in Cornwall who've been identified. North Wales, we can tell you who they are. And there's likely royal burials in Ireland. Yeah, I'll go with that as well. But you're missing out the main bit. Anyway, this is good to see, though, acknowledgement. Unlike early Anglo-Saxon pagan royal burials, the British and Irish ones normally had no grave goods. That's because the British and Irish monarchs were Christian and would have therefore regarded the use of grave goods as a distinctly pagan and unacceptable practice. Most likely true as well. This is... Unlike investigations into Anglo-Saxon tombs, the study of early British royal graves is still in its infancy. I know! That's what we got on about. Please start looking. We'll tell you where to look. And the names of the kings are not known. Oh, hang on. Apart from one burial location, there's an accompanying stone inscription with a name on it. Well, that's a good clue for you, isn't it? There we are, and it continues. You can read this yourself. I'll put the link in the thing. It just sort of rambles on a bit then, really. All right. Oh, yeah. So one thing it does say, the famous King Arthur. There is as yet no unambiguous evidence for Arthur's existence and accounts of his exploits written hundreds of years after the era associated with him don't even refer to him as a king but merely as a war leader. Yes, that's quite possibly his utopian dragon. We have the situation with British kings where the old king, a bit like today really, the Queen's very, very old, so a lot of the duties are performed by her son Charles. Same in those days, if you're an old king, you don't want to be getting on a war horse and fighting battles, especially if you're injured, as Myrig, the father of Arthur II, which is the one we're referring to here. His son, the young Arthur, would go off and lead the battles. Although technically he might not have been the king, he's still the utopian dragon in charge of all the British armies. But there we go. Bizarre again, ongoing investigations are likely to help change our understanding of most important aspects of this it's a crucial period of British history, so crucial, no one's looked into it, said Professor Dark. I love that name, Professor Dark of the Dark Ages. New research on British and Irish royal graves is published this month in the Journal of the Royal Society of Antiquities of Ireland. Not British or Welsh, or wherever. You go one step forward, you start falling 2 steps backwards. Right, there you go, little one just to amuse me. Hope you liked it. And the full article's in the links. So there we go. Just remember, hit the notifications, more of these coming up soon. Take care till the next time. Hedwg.